Hi, you guys, it's Yaz. Tonight, I'm going to talk about why do women go for bad boys? Not all women, but a lot of women do fall for bad boys. And I've had a lot of men come to me and say to me, why don't women give me a chance? I'm a nice guy. She's always going for the guy down the street who's got no car, has no job, or he's into different things. Maybe he's hustling on the street. Why are women attracted to that type of men? And I'm going to get into all that tonight, okay? I love this topic because it's so relatable to so many people, and we're going to talk about it. So let's talk about why a lot of women are attracted to bad boys. Well, a lot of times bad boys, number one, not all of them, but a lot of them physically can be very sexy and very attractive. A bad boy, a lot of times, is a player. Most bad boys are players, okay? Which means that they know how to attract the women. They know what the women look for. A lot of them look good. They may be cut up sexually. They may have a lot of muscles, a lot of tattoos. They have that rough edge to them that makes women crazy, okay? And the thing is, a lot of women, they don't realize that with that bad boy comes a lot of headaches. A lot of women think that they can tame a bad boy. They think that, oh, well, he's going to fall for me and I'm going to be the one, okay? And you are not going to tame a real bad boy. A real bad boy is his own boss and is going to do what he wants to do. And that is not somebody you want for a boyfriend. And God forbid you had somebody like that for a husband. You're going to have a life of misery and unhappiness. Believe me when I tell you that, okay? And I'm going to get into some stories about that as well, okay? But here's the thing. A lot of women like bad boys because bad boys have a certain edge. They're exciting, okay? And a lot of women are thrill seekers. Just like men love to be with women, like to be with multiple women because it's a thrill. It's something new. It's something exciting. They may get tired to be with the same woman all the time. That woman may be beautiful, but maybe he just wants something different. And sometimes men, the men that have cheated, they don't necessarily cheat with somebody that's necessarily better looking. So it has nothing to do with looks. It's just something new and exciting. It's thrill seeking. And it's kind of like the same thing with bad boys. A lot of women, let's say, for instance, that have grown up with very strict families or conservative families that are always being held down, a lot of women later on become wild and go for bad boys because they want that excitement because they lived a very mundane childhood. They never had that excitement and they come across, let's say, a bad boy, a street guy, and they find that danger excitement. So it's almost like it's an addiction. It's an adrenaline rush, knowing that you're with somebody that's living on the edge. And people say, well, what are they, crazy? I mean, rational people that look at it from another perspective will sit there and say, yeah, she is crazy, okay, to be with somebody like that, because she really doesn't understand what that brings with it. And what also people don't understand is when you get involved with somebody, quote unquote, a bad boy, okay, let's say somebody that gets in trouble with the law per se, that person can bring trouble to you, can bring trouble in your household. And if you get involved with somebody like that, you could, in some cases, be putting your life in danger. You could, in some cases, be putting yourself in a situation where you can get in trouble as well. And I'm going to give you an example of that. If you're out with somebody, and let's just say that person is a bad boy, and he does things, for instance, like selling drugs, okay? You could be in the car with them, and you could get pulled over and get in trouble too. And that's not a way to live, especially if you have children, okay? Because now you're putting not only your life, in a precarious position, but as well, the benefit of your children as well. But a lot of women, they live for the moment. They love that excitement. They love the chase, okay? A lot of times a bad boy will give you a chase. He'll show you a little attention. He'll love bomb you, and then he'll disappear because he's orbiting a lot of women, okay? And there's a lot of women also that have very low self-esteem, and they accept that kind of behavior of having somebody that's, let's say, the bad boy, and they're putting up with, him not calling them or him being out all night because they love that edge. They love the way he looks. They love the sexiness. A lot of times women are attracted to bad boys because they're looking at them also in a physical sense. Because a lot of times they can be very good-looking guys, or they can be sexy in their own way. And they don't want to be with, Joe Boring down the street that works at the insurance company. They want to be with the guy that's, running the streets and excitement and hearing the stories, and it's never a dull moment. So a lot of times women are attracted to bad boys because they don't want to be bored. Okay? It's the same thing that happens with people that are in relationships and people that get bored, and they go outside the marriage or the relationship in a lot of cases because they're bored. Not everything is going to be exciting in a relationship. You're going to have your good times, you're going to have your bad times, and you're going to have the times where nothing's going on and it can get very boring. So getting back to the whole bad boy scenario, the thing that a lot of women that don't understand the bad boy attraction is what they don't understand. They get attracted to a bad boy and they say to themselves, he's so tough. He doesn't take anybody's shit, okay? Oh, if I'm with him, nobody's going to start with me. Nobody's going to, ever give me a problem because I'm with him. There's that sense of security. A lot of these women, they feel like, they're protected. They need that protection because maybe they didn't have that in their life. And now they're with somebody that they feel, okay, nobody is going to ever give me a problem because this is my boyfriend or this is my husband. And, they're going to have a real problem if they start in with him. But what they don't understand is that person that you're so attracted to, that you find so sexy, that's that bad boy, that is somebody that will turn on you. And in a lot of cases, they will turn on you. In some cases, rather, they will turn on you with emotional abuse, calling you profanity. Then it becomes physical abuse. It happened to a good friend of mine. She was with a bad boy and she ended up getting killed by that person. I mentioned this in a prior podcast. She was messing with a guy. She had a boyfriend who had a bad track record. He had a big rap sheet, really bad rap sheet. This guy was bad news, you guys. And she got involved with him. She tried to get away from him. When she tried to get away from him, he came to the car agency. He shot her, killed her, and then shot himself. Okay? So she put herself in a very bad position. And I'm going to tell you another situation of a personal situation that I was in when I was young. I was going out with somebody that I thought was very exciting. Okay, he used to pick me up. We used to go for these extravagant lunches. All he did all day was go around and collect money. Okay, that was what he did. All right. He was basically a loan shark. So he would go around and he would collect money, and he always had big wads of money in the car and stuff like that. And to me at the time, being in my early 20s, it was all exciting. It was all exciting because it was that feeling of, oh God, I'm with this guy, he's protecting me and we're having a good time. We're going out, we're doing things, and not really realizing what I was dealing with. Only to find out later on what happened was it was my birthday and he and I ended up getting in an argument. We ended up breaking up. A couple of months later, my girlfriend calls me up on the phone and she's like, "Oh, did you hear what happened to so-and-so?" Meaning my ex-boyfriend. And I'm like, "No, what happened?" She's like, "Oh, it was all over the papers, It was in the New York Post, They killed him. They found his body on the side of the Belt Parkway." And I couldn't believe it, you guys. I couldn't believe it. And the first thing, besides, feeling bad about what happened to him, was I said to myself, I could have been laying there right next to him if I would have continued going out with him, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's an example of getting involved with somebody that is a bad boy that could be dangerous, and you put yourself in the wrong place, okay? Or you're driving around in a car with somebody that does shady things. You don't know what they have in the car. You don't know if somebody is after them. Now, I'm using the extreme when I talk about bad boys, you guys, just to give you an example. And this is all true stories, all right? But the reason that I was attracted to bad boys, as well as a lot of women at the time, is because we really didn't understand the dynamic of what it means to be with a bad boy, okay? We didn't understand that we can't change these people. We didn't understand that these people bring trouble to your door. We didn't get that kind of thing, all right? So what I'm trying to tell you is, for a lot of you women that are attracted to that type, that guy that's, that old saying, like, all that glitters isn't gold? It's so true in this scenario, because if you get involved with somebody like that, that's flashy like that, that's living, that kind of on the edge life, believe me, those lives are fast, all right, and short. So to get involved with somebody like that, you're not going to have a long, fulfilling life with somebody, or a healthy life. There's always going to be, it's going to be a roller coaster, up and down with that person, a roller coaster. And this is what a lot of these women don't get. And they're not getting that person who they're looking at as their protector, and, being that alpha male and being so, macho and everything, that one day you're going to say something that ticks him off and he's going to take it out on you. See, this is why I say you want somebody that's kind and understanding and healthy and lives a normal life and has a stable life. Somebody stable, and especially when there's children involved, okay? You can't play around when you have children involved, or if you're looking to have children with that person, okay? If you really love your children, or you care about having children and love them, you don't want to be with somebody that, you have to worry one day they get locked up, or you have to worry one day they get shot, or you're around them and they get shot. You don't want to live like that, okay? That's why you have to grow and you have to mature and realize that these people that are flashy, that look good, are not going to bring you happiness. And then we have a different type of bad boy. We have kind of like the bad boy that, like, can't get his act together, but he looks good and he's the bad boy. This type is the type that usually has no car, okay? Can't hold a job, all right? I'm sure we all know that type. This actually happened to one of my girlfriends. She was going out with a guy. He looked good. He looked really good. He was a very hot-looking guy. She met him on New Year's Eve, okay? Had a great time. She met him and everything like that. They went out afterwards, and they go out on their first date, and guess what he does? He asks her for $4, okay? We have a joke about that. We call him Mr. $4, all right? So, I always say, how's Mr. $4, It's a joke between us. But the thing is, this guy, all right, he came in, she met him that night on New Year's Eve. He looked good and everything like that. He had that swag. He looked like he could be in, like, one of those videos or something that you see, right, on MTV. Looked really good and everything like that. A lot of women would go for him and everything like that. She goes out on the date with him, And he asked her, can I borrow $4, okay, for a pack of cigarettes? She like looked at him like, huh? He caught her off guard with it. So I said to her, I said, this week he's asking for $4. Next week he's going to ask for 20. And then the following week he's going to be looking to move in with you. And that's exactly how it progressed in a sense. Because right after she let it go, she lent him the $4. Right after that, okay, the next thing he was pushing to move in with her. And she's like, you can't move in with me, you know? And he was one of those people that was looking for a spot to stay at, okay? Because he was that bad boy, but he wasn't a bad boy that made money. He was a bad boy loser, okay? So these are not people that you can go anywhere with, you guys, unless you want to be supporting some loser, all right? Whoever you get involved with, they have to be able to come to the table and bring as much as you bring to the relationship. They have to be on your level or better if you want to be happy. Unless you're dealing with somebody that is maybe going to school to better themselves, or let's say they've always been stable, but maybe they're going through a rough time, maybe because of this COVID situation, they lost their job or something like that. That's completely different. But if you're dealing with that kind of bad boy that just can't get his act together, you are wasting your time, okay? If you're somebody that's got their act together, that works, has their own place, doesn't need to ask anybody for anything, and you're dealing with somebody like that because he's a bad boy and he looks good and, you know, he's got that swag, he's got that edge, all right? That doesn't mean anything. Where are you going to go with that? Where are you going to go with that? Nowhere. The only way you're going to go with that is in the bedroom. That's it. That's all they're good for, okay? Believe me when I tell you, all right? But anyway, you guys, I just wanted to get on this because a lot of guys keep asking me, they're like, I don't understand it. I don't understand why these women are attracted to these guys, these bad boys. You know why? Because he's got all these tattoos on his neck and all over his body. But meanwhile, the guy can't even hold a job, or the guy is, you know, hustling in the street and the guy is not calling her all the time. All right. So think about this. Think about this. If you're dealing with somebody like that, think about how is that person treating you? Are they really treating you the way you expect them to treat you, or where they should treat you in a healthy relationship? Or are you just basically with them because they look good and they got that swag? That swag will not make a husband. That swag is not husband material. That swag will only attract other women that don't realize that that guy is not good to be involved with. All right. And I'm going to give you another example as well. I know people that have live streamed. These guys were in prison. Okay. And matter of fact, one of them follows me as well on one of my social media. He happens to be a nice person, but these guys, they stream from prison, okay? They live stream from prison. They're like three, they're very good looking guys from down south, very good looking. And when they live stream, the women go crazy. They have thousands of women on there tipping them. And these are guys that are in prison. These are guys that cannot do anything for these women. These are guys that it's very difficult to have a healthy relationship with somebody. And yet these women are falling to their knees for them. Okay? And you say to yourself, well, what is it? What is the attraction to that bad boy? What is it? Well, number one, they look good because they work out all day long. Okay? They're all tatted up. They are good looking guys, but that's not enough to have a happy, healthy relationship. You need something more. And when you get involved with somebody who's in that lifestyle, okay, you're not with Mr. Leave It to Beaver, okay, with the picket fence or anything like that. You're dealing with somebody that you will never be able to tame. Those type of guys you will never be able to tame. Believe me when I tell you, all right? So, this is why you got to smarten up. This is why women that, know the game, women that have been through it, they will tell you, bad boys, yeah, they're fun and everything like that. But to have a long-term relationship with them, you're in for a life of misery. You will never change a guy like that. Most of those guys are philanderers and cheaters. Most of those guys are free spirits that will do what they want to do. That's all part of the makeup of who they are as quote unquote a bad boy. So unless you want to deal with that and only deal with a piece of somebody and deal with the fact that, that macho-ness that you love that they, exert when they're out, with around other men, that macho-ness, that could turn on you. Okay, if they don't like what you say, you're going to see a whole nother person, then you become the target. And that's what happens to a lot of women that are in abusive relationships, Sometimes they get involved with these guys that they think are so, macho and, that alpha male thing. And what they don't realize is, and they say to themselves, oh, he's like a real tough guy. Like, that's sexy and everything like that, Oh, he's got my back and nobody's going to mess with me. But what they don't realize is when they're living with them on a day-to-day basis and you say something or you do something that they don't like, you will be the target, okay? So you have to think about that. You have to say to yourself, is this somebody that's going to be kind, understanding, compromise, somebody that's going to make me a priority? Most bad boys are not going to make you a priority. And a lot of women struggle with guys like that. A lot of women are saying to themselves, oh, if I do this, he'll change and, he'll want to, be married and, be home with me all the time. No, he may be home with you now and then, but he's going to be out doing his thing. So you have to keep that in mind. And I would say that the reason that women are attracted to these type of bad boys is because it's more of a thing of like that thrill seeking, that protection, that lust. It's more of a lust thing that they lust. It's like a guy that likes these hot Instagram models, okay? But some of these models might have the brain of like a fruit fly. All right. They're not looking at, how intelligent she is or how caring she is or, could this be a good mother to my kids one day? No, they're just looking at it like, wow, she's hot. I'd like to get in bed with her. And it's kind of like the same thing with women that are attracted to that, that dangerous bad boy. Like, he's hot, he's sexy, he's on the edge, there's some kind of like sexiness to that challenge of trying to get somebody that's like that and kind of try to make them domesticated and say, well, he's really rough with everybody else, but he's got a soft spot for me. He's got a soft spot to me. Those people usually, a lot of them too, are narcissistic and it's all about them. Okay, they're very self-centered. They live for themselves. They're out to please themselves. Okay, and you are not going to change them. If you are looking for something long-term, you are barking up the wrong tree. That's just facts, people. All right. And the thing that I would say to a lot of these men that come to me and say, why do women go for those type of guys? It's because they don't really understand that these people are not good partners in the long run. They're just looking at them on the surface and they don't really see this person's inner qualities to realize that this could not be a good partner for me in the long run. They're basically wasting their time. They haven't matured enough as a woman to realize that this guy will only bring misery down the road. And ask anybody Ask any female that's been involved with a bad boy to tell you the same thing, okay? They will tell you the same thing. They went for them because they liked that wild side. They thrived on that excitement. But if they had to look back on it and say, would they do it again? A lot of them would say, I wouldn't go through that again. I wasted my time. It got me nowhere dealing with these rebels, dealing with these bad boys, okay? So I hope that helps you. And if it did, please hit the subscribe button and share, and have a great night. Hi, it's Yaz, and I just want to let you guys know that if you're having a problem in your dating or your relationship, go to my website, link in the bio, and I'm offering email or phone coaching, because everybody's problems are different, and sometimes you just want a confidential opinion on a situation you're in. You're confused, you don't know what to do, you love your partner and you're having problems, and you just need somebody to tell it to you straight as to what's going on, why it's going on, and offer you some ideas of how to solve the problem. So go to the website, link in the description, and check it out. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz. I want to tell you about my 2 books that are on Amazon, okay? You can download them free with the trial membership from Kindle. The first book is Regain Your Power. If you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner has all the control in the relationship, maybe you're walking around on eggshells, you're afraid to approach them, it's going to tell you how to regain your power and be happy in the relationship, okay? And what you may be doing wrong, and that's why your partner has all the control in the relationship. The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time. There's a lot of people that are dating someone or in a relationship with somebody who's not really vested in the relationship. And we often are confused as to whether our partner really likes us or is into us or wants a future with us. And this book is going to give you signs and red flags of whether your partner is into you or he's just basically drifting and wasting your time. So go to Amazon and download the Kindle free trial membership. Doesn't cost you anything. And check it out. It may help you. Okay? And have a great day.